James Freeman Springer used the biggest First Amendment auditing-related platform on YouTube Tuesday night to reveal his footage of his recent unprovoked assault by Sahuarita Police Chief John Noland last week. Springer's story is that he was helping local pastor Steve Aiken, who had been battling with local authorities. A deposition was scheduled last week in a lawsuit Aiken had against the city, and because Aiken was not represented by a lawyer, Springer was advising him. While Springer was not authorized to be at the deposition, he and a handful of supporters arrived on the scene in order to document the proceedings on behalf of the pastor. The video, as aired on Lackluster's channel, shows that once inside, Springer attempted to bully entry into the room where the depositions were being held, telling Town of Sahuarita attorney Jim Jellison that he had better equipment to do the job. Springer positioned himself to block the door and taunted and argued with Jellison, who he told to step aside multiple times. After a few minutes of the standoff, police enter the area. Chief Noland tells Springer to move. Springer refuses to move, and Springer is taken to the ground. The YouTuber's camera hit the ground, and Springer may have bumped his head on the floor in the takedown. There were no punches or kicks thrown, and Springer meekly complied with authorities, screaming at his cameraman to call his wife and his lawyer. In a weirdly coincidental moment, his cameraman and supporters on scene targeted Police Chief Noland with taunts that he was going down for this. Those same supporters would go on to spread a story implied that Springer was brutally beaten, possibly taken to the hospital, and was being held against his will moments after the incident. Springer would be held for roughly 5 hours, then go home to release a statement demanding that Chief Noland be removed from his job. He said that Noland was a bad human being, and Springer did nothing to deserve his takedown. Local news crews, who had initially played Springer's account of his attack without question, have picked up portions of the attack video and turned slightly on the YouTuber. They note that Springer was indeed seen blocking the door and taunting and insulting Attorney Jellison. They did not, however, follow up by noting Springer's long history of baiting police officers and officials for YouTube content in New Mexico, resulting in his complete ban from buildings in an entire judicial district without a police escort. Nor did they pick up on his previous targeting of officials that he disagreed with, staging campaigns in New Mexico to vilify sheriffs, judges, and the governor, with targeted acts of brigading that saw his fans rally together to act on a moment's notice. While Springer is credited with not asking for financial help from his fans to fund his campaign against Noland, critics have noted that his alleged instigation of the incident echoes that of Sean Paul Long Island Audit Reyes, who used an incident where he was trespassed from the property of a Connecticut state trooper for national fame and nearly $50,000 in donations. Springer's actions have brought him local attention in the Tucson area, but have yet to bring him to the point of achieving national notoriety. The recently released footage may also prove difficult for fans to stand behind, as Springer, despite his claims, can be seen blocking the doorway and harassing Attorney Jellison. As Noland is the chief of police for Sahuarita, a detective from the Marana Police Department was brought in to handle the investigation into Springer's claims of misconduct by the police chief. Noland remains on duty as the investigation continues.